There are days if things are not going right, just put your head down and continue doing what you're doing slowly and steadily. Keep pushing it. It will happen. I'm a very persistent person by nature, so I don't give up easily. Obviously, keep looking at the bigger picture. Make sure you're heading in the right direction. My philosophy always has been, when things are not going right, just put your head down and continue doing what you're doing. You will see a better tomorrow in a week's time or in 15 days. It doesn't take long to have a better day. It's just that some days are good, some days are bad.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. 20-Minute Leaders is a proud supporter of Make-A-Wish Israel and Tech to Peace, and is in proud collaboration with Secret Chord Ventures, J Ventures, Riverside FM, Fusion VC, Birthright Excel, J Impact, Leap, Google for Startups, and Hippo, and in media partnership with CTech.
Thank you very much for being here. I really look forward to talking with you about your own company journey, Katharos Foods, vegan lifestyle, plant-based foods, and what brought you into this world and to create this company and the products that you're offering and where this fits into plant-based movement in general. And so again, thank you for taking the time to meet with me. Tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your journey into the vegan arena.
Okay. So I've done my graduation from Mumbai, India, and then I went on to do my master's in business at Northeastern University in Boston. I had a scholarship. Post that, I worked for a startup back then in 99, which was an e-commerce startup in San Francisco for a year. And then I came back to India because my family was in India. And ever since then, I've been with KPMG Consulting. And after that, I was with Capgemini for another 17 years. So I basically had a hardcore corporate lifestyle for until 2017. I've been seconded to the US, to UK. I've worked a lot for the European regions. I was very lucky. I traveled a lot. I met a lot of people. I've tried different cuisines. And back then, while I was, working for the European region, and when I was seconded to London, I was always buying organic dairy, organic yogurt, organic milk, organic eggs, because I thought that the organic dairy was not pumped with hormones. I was always very particular about what I eat. I work out every day. Even in my corporate world, my lunch discussions used to be around, what did you exercise today? How much have you eaten? So out of interest, I used to read a lot about what impact exercise and food has on your body, even when I had a full-time job. So back then, I was, not educated enough, and I thought the organic dairy items would be healthy and would not be pumped with, the hormone injections, which make a cow produce more milk, which in turn, you can make yogurt and different dairy items out of it. When I was back in India, I was accidentally introduced to a plant-based lifestyle by a fellow gymmer. So, and plant-based lifestyle, there is a company which introduces you to a plant-based lifestyle. It's a small NGO, kind of a non-profit organization, very close to my house, where I went and I spent time, and they taught us, what happens to your body when you have meat, what happens to your body when you have dairy, which I was already aware, and what are the substitutes, how can you substitute your food, how can you even cook food without oil, why do you even need oil, you can get your body, if you eat nuts, that's enough oil and nutrition going into your body, good fats. So, over a period of time, in my family, we transitioned to a plant-based lifestyle very slowly. I made small changes. I didn't try and hurry up. Made small changes as to not changing my salt from regular table salt to Himalayan pink salt. Trying to cook without oil. I even taught my cook later how to cook without oil. So small changes every day in our lifestyle. I come from a community which is a hardcore meat eaters. My 3 to 4 meals a day were all, which all had eggs or meat. I used to eat a chicken leg piece for lunch and dinner all my life, ever since I was a kid till about
Wow.
2007. Every day I would eat a chicken leg piece without fail. My colleagues used to make fun of me because they would see a chicken leg piece in whatever I would eat. So I was a hardcore meat eater, and over a period of time, I started transitioning slowly. I knew again chicken was again pumped with a lot of stuff which goes into our body. And it was very easy for me, for example, to give up chicken. We shifted to black tea and coffee. That was also not a problem. There were times when I would go out in the early days, and if I'm going to a nice fancy place, I felt like having a cappuccino or a latte. And that in the early days, I would have the dairy milk. But guess what, Michael? Over a period of time now, today, if you give me, if you give me a cappuccino or a latte with milk, I don't feel like having it. I don't like the taste anymore. I prefer black tea or coffee. So it's also a question of your taste buds changing over a period of time. So anyway, my family transitioned over a period of 1 year or 1 year, 2 years, and we've completely gone plant-based at home. My husband lost around 20 kgs, which is around 40 pounds over a period of 2 years, with exercise and
Wow.
eating right and healthy, not just diet. So I more or less, I became a little leaner, but I'm more or less the same. Um, but the whole point is that we were healthier. So when COVID started in 2000, early 2020, we continued exercising from home and we continued our lifestyle. Uh, I didn't even know I had COVID when I did get it. I only came to know that I had COVID because my mother, who's around 82 years old, when she fell sick, she was with us. And that's when I knew that I had COVID. I just thought I had fever for a day. So we didn't go through any of the issues around COVID, breathlessness or, body hurting or any of that. During COVID, my husband and I. So it was very easy to recover. We recovered in like 2 days. So health wise,
Wow.
it's
And so
purely
tell
health.
me, so
Go
tell me a
ahead.
little bit about what you're doing with Katharos food.
Just to add one link, small link before I get there is, when I turned plant-based, I
Sure.
used to miss the cheese in my salads. That's how the whole journey started. I used to miss cheese, and whatever was available in India was either, there were 2, 3 brands which were imported and they were terribly expensive. Plus, they didn't taste anything great. And whatever little was available in India was not made with very healthy ingredients. So, given my whole perspective towards health from the very beginning, it didn't make sense to again have plant-based cheese which was not healthy, which had lots of oil or saturated fat and tons of starches. So that's when I started dabbling with making plant-based cheese at home. And I had a small vegan potluck. And people liked it. That gave me some encouragement. And around 3 years back, I did my first farmers market in Mumbai, where I just took around 10 cheese blocks I had made feta then. That was a flagship product made out of almonds. Wrapped it in a simple butter paper and stood there in the summer heat in the middle of May, which is really hot in India. with my 10 cheese packets, and they were sold out, which again gave me some encouragement, and that's how my journey with Katharos started.
Incredible. Okay, and so the founding story of Katharos, and how did you bring those products first to market?
I started slowly launching it in some vegan stores in Mumbai, because I'm based out of Mumbai. So I started with Mumbai. I launched it on some e-commerce sites. E-commerce is always easier than stores because there are no returns, etc. It gets easier to do e-commerce. Physical movement is less. After that, in the second year, we went ahead and we launched our pizza cheese and our cheese spreads. We won the Best Vegan Cheese Award from PETA India for 2021, and our cheese spreads are available in 6 flavors. They're very versatile. They're only made with 3 ingredients. Fermented cashews, Himalayan pink salt, and the natural condiments. So, for example, if it's black pepper, it's only fresh black pepper. If it's cumin, it's only fresh cumin. So, again, the whole idea was to avoid oil, to avoid preservatives, to avoid chemicals. I don't think I told you, Katharos means pure in Greek, hence the name Katharos. And I wanted to stick making healthy plant-based cheeses, not just any plant-based cheeses. And 6 months back, we launched the world's first mozzarella and cheddar blocks, which are made from watermelon seeds. It's the first. The reason why we did that was we wanted to lower the price point for the end consumer and also for the restaurants and the hotels where we sell. So most people complain that plant-based food is expensive, especially a lot of young people buy it whose income levels are not that high. They're just starting their careers and they find plant-based food very expensive, especially if it is made from nuts. Hence, we looked at watermelon seeds. There is one more option, of course, to try soya, but I kind of, again, given my mindset about eating healthy, I wanted to avoid soya because soya typically is a GMO product. Soya cheese could have been cheaper, but it's a GMO product, so I wanted to avoid it. And hence, we looked at watermelon seeds. It's been a huge hit. It's a block which grates and melts really well on pizzas, nachos, tacos. So a lot of cafes and restaurants buy that, of course, including a lot of retail customers. So that's been our one of our fastest selling products. But even our cheese spreads and sauces, because they're only 3 ingredients, they are super, super, super healthy. They are high in protein also.
Wow. Okay. So what was the reaction of the public to your products? How did you get it out there in the first place, and how did you start validating the product that's, very consumer oriented? How did you what was the journey that you've done with your product to really get this, tailored to the consumers?
It's really hard to explain people in India what plant-based or vegan food is. There is an awareness. I'm not saying there's no awareness, especially a lot of awareness in the metros. People are well-traveled today. They understand what is plant-based and vegan. But again, a very small segment of the society understands that. We do a lot of markets, we do a lot of events where we put up a stall where there's a lot of tasting to be done. So basically, I look for avenues where people can come and taste our product and then buy it, because then people get to taste it before picking it up from a store shelf. So then they become our regular customers. There's a lot of education required amongst people who don't understand what plant-based is. A lot of people, I'll be honest with you, when we are at events and stalls, they hear the word vegan and they run away. They don't want to even try it. So it's hard, okay? It's hard. It's like sometimes it's like a negative connotation, vegan. So I usually don't always say vegan. I sometimes say it's It's healthy cheese. Just try it. It tastes exactly like grainy, and it's much healthier. It has high protein. Why wouldn't you want to try it? I tell them I bet it that you like it because I'm so confident that it's great. We put out samplers. We even make a pizza out of our mozzarella and cheddar so people can, try it out. And all that has really helped gain traction. Even selling it at different cafes and restaurants helps because then people ask, "Oh, what cheese was used in this pizza?" And when the staff says it's Katharos, people go back and buy that online or in store. So that's really again, helped us. But events, I think, are the best because people get to taste it and then buy it.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's really, really cool. And so tell me, what do the next few years look like for Katharos Foods?
We want to make some more dairy related products. And I know I'm very confident that we can. There is a heavy investment that we need to make into technology because everything, I'm sure you know this, that anything related to plant-based is basically technology. Okay. So for example, casein is a product which casein is something which is only secreted by the cow. And that's what gives a mozzarella the stretch that you typically see on pizzas. Currently, that stretch is not available in any part of the world. Why? Because it's only made by the cow. But there are scientists across the world exclusively working on creating that plant-based casein. And once we have that, companies like us will incorporate that into the cheese. And you'll get that stretch that you look at in a typical Domino's or any pizza that you look at. So there's a lot of technology involved in making plant-based food tastier, healthier, better, and that will continue. We are looking at improving our products, improving our shelf life. We are also looking at exports. In fact, next week I'm traveling especially for exports. I have meetings lined up. I personally believe that our plant-based cheese spreads are absolutely amazing for people abroad. It's a very, very clean product and high in protein. I doubt it. Why would anybody not want to, buy it or try it? So we're also tapping the market abroad, given the fact that the India market is still growing, is still small. It's not as big and matured as the UK or the US market.
Very, very cool. And so, at the end, Jasmine, we do this show really to capture, why people do what they do. So if you have to look today at Katharos Foods and what you're doing in the day-to-day, help me distill why is it that you do what you do?
I love doing what I'm doing. Every day is different. So for example, right now I'm focusing on exports. I'm learning every day. It's a first time for me. I've never done it before. The whole, how do you go about doing it? What is the paperwork required? What are, how, for small things like how will I package it and send it abroad? Do I have enough shelf life? Will it last by the time it reaches there? The costing behind it, because my cost will change if I'm sending it. So every day is something new and more challenging. At the same time, we're making such exciting new products. So we also have an R&D team, and that parallelly that's going on all the time, tasting new products, seeing how they taste, how they feel when people like it. It's really exciting. Looking at sales, branding, marketing, being the CEO of a company, I have to look at all areas. And, especially 2 days back, we were at an event again and people love that cheese. So it gives you some kind of a reassurance that people like it and you're heading in the right direction. Yes, there are days when it's very frustrating, and I don't know if I'll be able to do this. Uh, you know, there are days when things are not going right, but I just put my head down and keep continuing. I always believe in that. There are days if things are not going right, just put your head down and continue doing what you're doing slowly and steadily. Keep pushing it. It will happen. I'm a very persistent person by nature, so I don't give up easily. So just keep pursuing. Things will work out. Obviously, keep looking at the bigger picture. Make sure you're heading in the right direction. I talk to a lot of my ex colleagues, my friends,
Sure.
who also give me advice. A lot of people from the industry. You need to meet to understand if you're on the right track. But my philosophy always has been, when things are not going right, just put your head down and continue doing what you're doing. You will see a better tomorrow in a week's time or in 15 days. It doesn't take long to have a better day. It's just that some days are good, some days are bad. So it's been a great journey.
Incredible. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for coming here and for sharing with me your story for these 20 short minutes. This was really great, and I really appreciate the time and the energy. So thank you very, very much, and best of luck with Katharos Foods.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Thanks for removing the time and doing this podcast with me. Thank you so much.